are the trends you're seeing with machine vision in terms of quality control, and especially, has you seen any differences or any unique perspectives that you have to share when it comes to the COVID times that we live in?
Thank you for the introduction. So, COVID's been definitely kind of interesting. It put a severe break on the North American manufacturing environment. So pretty much from April through July last year, things were pretty much shut down unless you were deemed a critical manufacturer. And so what ended up happening after, in particular, there was a number of deaths with some chicken processing plants. And so OSHA basically put the hammer down that all large manufacturers were required to have pandemic protocols put in place. And that ended up getting pushed down to integrators. So even though that some integrators that are smaller shop did not necessarily have to have these protocols in place, we were now dictated by our clients that we had to have our own protocols. So there was a lot of kind of shuffling going around on what needed to be done. Internally, we had to implement some contact tracing. So we had to have basically our own little app for visitors and employees when they came in, answering questions every day, doing their temperature checks and everything else. So, along with just trying to organize and, how do we deal with remote employees and, how we continue to serve our customers that are, part of the major supply chain. But things are definitely picking up. But the challenges that we're running into right now is availability of the workforce. So even though most manufacturing employees have been vaccinated, there's a challenge that whether it's the first dose or second dose, there's some additional time off that's being needed because of different reactions to the vaccine. And so that is creating a certain amount of inconsistencies within the labor force, but also the challenge of the lack of reliable access to childcare. And so when your kids are not in school and they're doing remote learning, somebody needs to be around because by the time you get home, they're going to tear the house apart. So, and that falls into, a dynamic where, one parent is being forced to work from home. And well, when you're in manufacturing, you need eyes on the situation, and that's just not possible. So even though we have millions of people out of work, there is a labor shortage. And so there's this, back and forth on trying to get people back to work. And so that's really what's holding us up at this point in time as far as manufacturing. And, adding to that, so those that are on the front line, working within packaging and producing parts and such, they're having to do overtime simply because they don't have enough people on the line. And that overtime is in itself creating problems. So the need for automation and quality inspection, there's a lot more quoting that's going on this year than previous years. And it's been definitely interesting within that respect.
Wow. Okay. So there's the number of drivers. So, it's just you put the accelerator on the pedal, you put the foot on the pedal when it comes to adoption of these, or at least interest, right? So that sounds like, we're seeing a lot of interest in the Indian market as well. Of course, it's not the best time in terms of the situation right now, compared to like a few months ago, but we believe that the fundamentals and and if not, COVID hasn't done anything but acted as a catalyst to this adoption, and that seems to be the trend here as well.